everyone, this is Vishali and welcome to the next, that is fifth session of power electronics and applications. So in our previous video we have seen the heat sinks and different cooling methods. In this session we are going to learn over voltage protection. So let's start. In this session we are going to discuss what is over voltage protection and why it is necessary, then dV by dt protection, snubber circuits, we will see reverse recovery transients, then voltage protection by moves, what is this move, then selenium surge suppressors, and then finally we will summarize our session. So semiconductor devices can damaged by excessive voltage applied even for the short period of time. Such over voltage transients are generally the main cause of device failure. It may cause maloperation of a circuit by undesired turn off thyristor, or it may permanently damage our device due to reverse breakdown. To protect against all sources of voltage transients, it is very necessary to protect each device individually. A simple means of protecting these devices against overvoltage is to introduce a safety factor. Overvoltage protection may have two different types: internal overvoltage due to the thyristor operation, or external due to supply line or load. So let's see what is this internal overvoltage. A large voltages may be generated internally due to commutation of the thyristor. When the anode current reduces to zero, it reduces due to stored charges. This reverse recovery current rises to peak value. At same time SCR begins to block. After this peak value, reverse recovery current decays abruptly with a large di by dt. Di by dt is nothing but the rate of change of current with respect to time. So because of the series inductance L of a SCR circuit, the large transient voltage L di by dt is produced. We are going to see this circuit in our next slide. So as this internal voltage is greater than the breakover voltage of the device may be destroyed permanently. So there is a need to protect our devices from this internal overvoltages. Now what about external overvoltages? These are caused due to interruption of current flow in inductive circuit as well as lightning strokes on the lines feeding the thyristor system. The thyristor converter is fed through a transformer. When the transformer primarily is energized or de-energized, there are high chances of occurrence of voltage transients. It may cause a random turn on of thyristor. Thus, overvoltages may appear across the load, causing flow of a large fault currents. It may also damage the device by the inverse breakdown. So it is very essential to protect the device or a semiconductor device from these two types of overvoltages. Now we will see what is a dV by dt protection. So if you remember the working of a thyristor, then when the forward voltage is across anode and cathode of the thyristor, the two outer junctions J1 and J3 are forward bias, but the inner junction J2 is reverse bias. This reverse bias junction J2 has a characteristic of capacitor due to charges existing across the junction. The space charges exist in the depletion region around J2 and thus it behaves like a capacitor. If the entire anode to cathode voltage appears across this reverse bias junction J2 and if the charge is denoted by Q, then the current I will be given by this equation. What is current? It is a rate of flow of charge with respect to time. So I is equal to dq by dt. But as we know, Q is equal to C into V. So substituting the value of Q in this equation dCV by dt. So differentiating this CV with respect to time, we will get C dV by dt plus V dC by dt. As we know, for this circuit, the value of capacitor is almost constant. So neglecting this, we will get I is equal to C dV by dt. If the value of this dV by dt is high, then the value of current also will be high. This charging current plays the role of our gate current and it turns on the SCR even when the gate signal is 0. So this is known as dV by dt turn on or false operation of SCR. This must be avoided by keeping the dV by dt value below the specified limiting value. So to achieve this, snubber circuits are used. A snubber circuit consists of a series combination of resistance Rs and capacitance Cs in parallel with the thyristor circuit, as shown over here. A capacitor Cs parallel with the device is sufficient to prevent the unwanted dV by dt triggering of a SCR. When the switch S is closed, the sudden voltage appears across the circuit. The capacitor Cs behaves like a short circuit. Thus, the voltage across SCR is 0. Further, the voltage Cs builds up at slow rate. That is, the dV by dt across this capacitor Cs and therefore across the SCR. This voltage is less than the specified maximum dV by dt rating of this device. Before SCR is fired by a gate pulse, a capacitor Cs charges to a full voltage Vs. When the SCR is turned on, this Cs discharges through SCR and sends a current which is equal to Vs upon the resistance of a local path formed by Cs and the capacitor. As this resistance is quite low, the turn on di by dt will tend to be excessive. As a result, SCR may be destroyed. In order to limit the magnitude of discharge current, the resistance Rs is inserted in series with Cs. Thus, when the SCR is turned on, initial discharge current Vs by Rs is relatively small and turn on di by dt is reduced. Normally, Rs, Cs and the load circuit parameters form an underdamped circuit, so that the dV by dt is limited to the acceptance value. So when the thyristor is turned off, there is a brief pulse of reverse recovery current that rises to a peak value, at which the time device blocks. In the absence of the RC snubber, the abrupt interruption of a reverse recovery current in the series inductor L will cause the transient LdI by dt over voltages that may destroy the device itself or any other semiconductor device in the converter circuit. But if this RC circuit or RC snubber is connected across the thyristor, the reverse recovery current can transfer the RC when the device blocks. It is shown over here. The voltage across the RC path appears as an oscillatory reverse voltage across the semiconductor. A correctly designed snubber circuit will limit the amplitude of this reverse recovery voltage and it will limit the rate of its rise. By delaying a buildup of a reverse voltage across this semiconductor, the recovery losses of this device can be reduced. If the snubber resistance is too small, the excessive ringing will occur in the LCR circuit. A reverse blocking voltage capability of semiconductor may be exceeded because of this small value of resistance R. When this thyristor is turned on, the snubber capacitor C discharges into the thyristor, but the resistor R limits the discharge current and prevents the excessive di by dt at turn on of this transistor. What happens at turn off? At turn off, a forward voltage IR drops suddenly and appears across this thyristor due to the reverse recovery of the diode, as indicated in this figure. The voltage IR drops suddenly. Thus, the presence of resistor R impairs the forward dV by dt limiting performance of this snubber circuit. Now we will see how the voltage protection can be obtained by using MOVs. But what is this MOV? MOV is nothing but metal oxide varistor. Varistors are non-linear devices which are used in conjunction with the relative networks that passes acceptably small current at the normally working voltage but sufficiently large current at higher voltages. It is used to limit voltage surges at a tolerable level. These have been made up of a thyrite or a metrocell material. It provides a current variation in proportion to the fourth or the fifth power of the voltage. These devices are not satisfactorily used for protection of a semiconductor circuit because the surge voltage cannot be limited adequately without the excessive dissipation under the normal conditions. But there is a new type of these varistors called MOV, that is metal oxide varistor, available with a very much better characteristic corresponding to the 13th or higher power law. It can be used effectively within their limitations of size. So these MOVs, metal oxide varistors, are far away better than the voltage dependent resistors or varistors. So these MOV consist of a pair of a metal contact plates separated by a thin layer of a small zinc oxide granules, which are bonded in an amorphous mixture of other oxides. The boundaries of these granules have a p-n junction characteristics, so that this device has a symmetrical VI characteristic similar to that of the avalanche diode suppressor. So these MOVs are used for voltage protection. Now there is another suppressor, or we can say another device which is used for voltage protection. It's selenium surge suppressor. This selenium suppressor can be of two types. First one is polarized or non-polarized. In polarized version of this selenium surge suppressor, all the plates are arranged in the same direction. Hence, it handles the over voltages in one direction only. It is suitable for DC circuits, whereas the non-polarized or unpolarized selenium surge suppressor, in this version, the plates are arranged in both directions. So it handles over voltages in both directions. It is commonly used for AC circuits. Now we will see the characteristic of selenium surge suppressor. The metal to selenium junction has a low forward breakover voltage, but more importantly, a well-defined reverse breakdown voltage. The characteristic is shown over here. The operating point lies before the knee of the characteristic. It draws a very small current from the circuit. However, when the over voltage appears, the knee point is crossed and the reverse current flowing through the selenium increases suddenly. Here, after this Vz, the current increases suddenly by a very large amount, thereby typically limiting the transient voltage to twice the normal voltage. So this is how the selenium surge suppressor are used for voltage protection. So we have studied what is the over voltage protection, then dV by dt protection, how MOVs and selenium surge suppressor are used for voltage protection, and what is used for dV by dt protection. Do you remember? Yes, it is snubber circuits. So thank you. Stay home, stay safe, In our next video, we are going to see what is overcurrent protection. Till then, happy e-learning.